What is up, guys? It is your boy, Joshua Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of the Gears Cast. Welcome, everyone, to the Gears Cast, the best Gears of War podcast here on YouTube. And I'm super excited, ladies and gentlemen, about our episode here today. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. Guys, I am coming at you out of Zero Dark, South Carolina's home for gaming and esports. And I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. We've got Xtra Father, as always. Guys, some GGs in the chat for Xtra Father. Xtra Father, what's up, brother?
What is going on? I've got a lot of energy this morning.
Holy shit, bro! You're on it right now, man. We are okay, guys. I know that we've got StarSpawn. He's going to be coming on here in a little bit, but I figured, you know what, we got to go live here. We've got things that we want to definitely things that we want to talk about today, and certainly there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about with StarSpawn as well, for sure. But we're doing a little bit of an earlier stream. This is actually a much earlier stream than I'm used to. Part of the reason why I'm here at Zero Dark, guys, because obviously I'm pretty much here like a lot of the time. When I have to open, I have to, kind of run the day-to-day operation. So it's a little bit challenging for sure. There's no doubt. But in terms of doing earlier shows, but I'm excited to be able to do this here with all of you guys today. So I just talked to you yesterday, Xtra, but how are you feeling today? We're a day closer. How you feeling, bro?
I got some sleep, so that's the important part.
Yeah.
Had a good dream about some Gears of War, which was kind of odd.
I mean, do you want to elaborate or?
Like it was weird. Like it was like I was watching the showcase, but it was like AI was producing it. Like that's what it felt like. It was very weird.
AI was producing it? No way.
Like it was coming on screen and like Karn was in the trailer and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? There's so much shit going on. Looked fake as hell, but I was there. I was excited.
Yeah. No, I'm sure, dude, as we get closer to the showcase and the direct, dude, I'm probably going to start having crazy, like, just, I don't know. You had said it yesterday. I don't think that we're going to sleep really good. Probably a couple of days before the showcase, just because of the excitement levels, and especially if they show us some more shit, dude, before the showcase actually comes. I think it's just going to get us all even more excited. But D Parks, yo, what's up, brother? Elijah Walker, 2 streams in a row. Let's go. Hell yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm interested to see how our show goes today, because we really haven't done these earlier shows. I think we did a pretty early show with Shadows because he's over in the UK. But normally, guys, the shows are kind of later just because I've got work and got, a lot of different things going on. But yeah, a couple of streams in a row, man. I mean, look, we're going to have a lot of consistent videos and consistent content coming out for you guys in terms of live streams, the shows, all of that stuff. I'm super excited about it. So I've got a number of things though here today, guys, that we're going to talk about as we're awaiting none other than StarSpawn to join us here today, because we've got some stuff that we definitely want to talk about. And he's going to be jumping in here shortly. I want to talk about, after they did the Xbox podcast yesterday with Matt Booty, have you had more to think about, Xtra, in terms of Matt Booty mentioned, or I guess they all mentioned, that the Coalition's going to have their own podcast. Have you given any more thought? Do you think the podcast will be before the showcase or after the showcase? I think I saw a tweet by Shadows, and I think Shadows believes it's coming like right after the showcase or right after the direct. What do you think? You think it'll come before or after?
I think it'll come before. I doubt they'll like necessarily show us anything like besides what's going to be happening in the direct. Like, um, they could share like maybe a screenshot. Like, can you do at least that, the coalition? But
Yeah.
can you do something? Like, I don't expect like much to happen, but I do expect them to do that before the showcase. That just makes more sense. Like, why do that after the direct? It just doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, unless you want to know why they would maybe wait extra is if there's like, let's say there's certain spoilery things in the podcast, not spoilery things in terms of the story or anything, but if there's spoilery things of what they're going to show at the showcase that they're talking about in the podcast, they want to wait until, they want to show those things to everybody live and then they can talk about it later. Maybe it just depends on the direction of the podcast, right? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it a little bit. I really want them to show it before, though. I'm totally with you. I want us to be able to dissect it, I want to see who's going to be the community manager like Dana was for Gears of War for a number of years. I want to see who the community managers are, who are the different figures that we can kind of put more of a face to the name, even though we know like some of the higher ups over there. I'm just saying some of the other people that we may be in communication with on a more consistent basis, so that's going to, I'm interested about it. MD Ultra, what's up, brother? Sup, guys? Joe Gear, what up, bro? Zero Extra, what's up, guys? What's up, man? We're just here.
We here, bro.
We here. We are absolutely here. Okay, so I want to discuss this. Let me pull this up real quick here. Okay. By the way, dude, in the Coalition podcast that's coming out, I really want to know what they're going to kind of focus on in that podcast. If they're going to focus on the campaign, the gameplay, or if this is more of a podcast that's going to kind of lean into who the people are at the Coalition. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, do you think that they're going to have like, it's probably going to be a podcast with like Matt Searcy and Mike Gump, right? I mean, don't you think that's probably who it's going to, those are probably going to be the two main people at the podcast? Or do you think they're going to have two totally random people?
Did you just say Mike Gump?
Crump. Yeah, I did say Gump, didn't I? Holy shit.
It'll probably be Nicole Fawcett or like Matt Searcy and Nicole Fawcett, like they did at the after the showcase in 2024. That's who I'd be expecting to see.
Yeah. That's kind of who I'm expecting as well. Yo, we got StarSpawn in here. Yo, guys. Okay, listen. I'm gonna introduce all of you to StarSpawn here in a second. StarSpawn and I have been talking a little bit off camera. I'm super excited to get him onto the Gears cast here, guys, because he's been in the Gears of War community for a while now. And he's been doing this, a lot longer than I've been creating Gears of War content. And he's been primarily really crushing it on Twitch. Actually, he's been absolutely killing it over there. I'm super excited to have him a part of the show. And we're going to have him introduce himself. StarSpawn, what's up, bruh?
Hello. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Dude, absolutely,
Love that background, bro.
Super excited to have you on the Gears cast, dude. You are ready to go. You got the Gears of War shirt, the hat. You got some fucking merch going on in the background. You got the lights going, the Funko Pops. Let's fucking go, bro. I love it. Yeah, dude, that is
I love it too, man.
It's
I'm
awesome.
a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can tell.
Yeah,
you and
okay,
you and I talking off camera. You are absolutely. You've been a massive Gears head, dude. Like a number of us. But I want to give you like the floor here for a minute to kind of tell everybody who's not super accustomed to you, who's obviously been watching my videos, maybe watching Xtra Father's videos and our live streams. I want you to give everybody a little bit of like some backstory about who you are today. How did you get here, dude? And what are your plans as we move into the new era, that being Gears of War E-Day? The floor is yours, homie.
Okay, I'll try to keep this short because I was listening to the cast on my before. I was doing stuff at the house, and I'm already ready to talk about E-Day. So
yeah, well, too bad, bro. You got to talk about you for a minute.
My name's StarSpawn. I'm Alex is my real name. I'm 52 years old. I've been streaming since 2018 is when I started. I've been active in the online community since 2016 when I started getting on Twitch and getting into the online stuff. When you're an older guy, it's not as apparent. I wish I would have been smarter about being online and content and this and that, but I guess everybody does. So anyway, I was on Twitch. I found Shadows first. He was giving away beta codes for Gears 4. So I ended up in his Twitch channel. I didn't even know what Twitch was. I had noticed it on his YouTube channel. He said, I'm live over at Twitch. I had no idea what it was. Clicked on the link. They wanted me to make an account. I already had an email. StarSpawn was before even my gamer tag. So I just made my account on Twitch, StarSpawn, like my gamer tag. And then was on Twitch for a while, started just watching. Even to this day, I guess, to be fair, I only watch Gears of War streams. I don't really watch other games. I don't know. I don't know if it's just a habit or whatever, but I've always been most interested in the Gears of War side of Twitch content. So, I watched streams for a couple years, and I was fortunate enough to meet up with Shadows and Roar, ESS Roar, who he used to do content pretty heavy, but life changes for him too. Anyway, I met them in San Diego, and we were able to hang out for a whole week together, and I was able to see what it was like to be a content creator. And I saw that they were having a lot of fun. Everybody knew who they were. And I started thinking to myself, like, I want to be somebody that just shows up and gets to go to where everybody's at. Because everybody kept telling us, hey, here's where the party's at. And then there'd be like developers there. There'd be pro players there. The Gears of War community would be wherever we were told to go. So I was thinking, like, I want to do that too. And the only way I could do that without basically just, hanging around other people was I needed to stream myself. I needed to get my face out there so people saw who I was. So when I showed up at a Gears of War event, it would be all smiles and handshakes instead of, me just standing off to the side with people wondering who the hell is this guy. But you got to keep in mind too, this was all pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was a normal thing to think about, hey, well, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to go to events. I want to hang out. There's this huge group of people that go to these events all the time. So in my mind, that was the original plan. I was going to stream. I was going to become at least familiar with people. And then I would be able to, enjoy Gears of War events as something more than just a spectator that shows up, buys a couple t-shirts, watches everything, and then leaves. I was able to participate in the community aspect of it, which for me it's more important for me. And I would say even for my mental health, like doing this right now, talking to you guys right now is good for my mental health because there's so few people that have a passion for Gears of War or even know what Gears of War is. So you guys make me feel normal. So when I'm around a big group of people that all love Gears of War, I'm thinking, oh my God, these are my people. Like I'm finally with people that understand me. Because I look around and I'm like, why doesn't everyone love this game? How is this game so small and so, you know what I mean? Like, but all of us have expected this game to blow up every single time there's a new one. We've expected this is going to be the time when people finally see what we've been seeing for all this time. And to be with people like that, it just makes me feel kind of normal, So that made me feel good, and it inspired me to keep streaming. So since 2018 till today, for the most part, I stream every day, 7 days a week. Uh, I miss some days here and there, but for the most part, if you want to see Gears of War content on Twitch, I will be live at some point within 24-hour period. And I've been streaming Gears of War exclusively. I'd say well over 90. I need to actually get the numbers on this, but at least 90% of 7-8 years of streaming has been either Gears of War UE 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I just it's and for me, I'm a full-time streamer, but I also have a job. I do full-time streaming just for the fun of it or for the love of the game, I guess. And that's one thing that's a little different about me is I'm not as dependent on success on doing content, on whether or not I make content. So I always say on my streams, as long as I feel like this is what I want to do with my time, I'm gonna just keep doing it. And Gears of War is the only game for me, really.
Well, let me ask you this, dude. When would you say was the best time for you in terms of, since you've been in the community for as long as you've been here, when was it at its kind of like at its peak in your mind in terms of, like, I should say from like a content creation perspective, like where you saw like the most growth, the most like like you felt like there was a big time opportunity for you when it came to streaming or like creating content? When was that? Was it during like UE, or was it more like Gears of War 4, or did it kind of, what was it?
Well, yeah, it would have to be after Gears of War 4 for sure. Just out of just the raw data, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the time, like 2020, really, because at that time it was, like right before kind of when we were figuring out what was going on with COVID. Nobody knew, so they had a huge amount of money for the pro circuit, so that was bubbling up the whole time. And then it was just super popular as far as Gears goes. We had the most players ever on a Game Pass game at that time. There was 3 million people played Gears of War, and that was a huge deal for the time. There was talk of the new console coming out, so there was a lot of excitement going on. And as far as, for me, and not just me, but other Gears of War content creators at the time, we were all doing pretty good. It's a struggle being a Gears of War content creator, as I'm sure you understand. Even the top dog is not making money that they can just say, I'm solely a streamer. Like everybody's got side gigs, or this is their side, like their side hustle or whatnot. So we were all doing it for the love anyway. But, we've all talked about, is this going to be the one? If we could just get a quarter of what Fortnite has, or an eighth of what Call of Duty has, because all we need is that little slice.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. Like, what do you guys think? I mean, I've been saying this for a while, for a long time. Xtra, this. I've been saying it on YouTube for a while. The biggest thing I felt why Gears of War hasn't seen. I mean, there's been a couple of reasons. I mean, I would say first off, being an Xbox exclusive for as long as it's been an exclusive is kind of, it's limited the exact amount of like potential or impact that it could have. But I also feel like things like this, us having real conversation and like content creators really collaborating in a major way. I'm saying huge way. I'm talking people going into each other's streams on a consistent basis, playing together, like I don't know, going to events together, all that stuff. Like I feel like there was some of it, StarSpawn, but I feel like there wasn't enough of it. Like there wasn't enough content creators, there wasn't enough people that were collaborating on content and stuff for like all of these years. Like when you have guys like Shadows, who during these dark ages of Gears of War, guys like you and Shadows were consistently streaming and stuff, but there wasn't really anybody else like that were helping as far as reinforcements. I mean, yeah, we've had Icy, we have certain people, but there's not enough of us. Is that fair to say that? Or is it more like, do you think that it's just, because I take it really personally that I think that we need to be, I think that the creators have got to be collaborating a lot on content. Because I just saw it with Call of Duty, and over time, it we've seen just Call of Duty creators and the scene continue to grow as creators were collaborating on content. They had team houses, so on and so forth. What do you think?
Well, I'll start with this. One thing that I always thought was one thing I didn't really understand, other than just they didn't like doing it. So you got a lot of the pro players who also stream, but I don't really consider the majority of them streamers. I consider them people that stream the game they're playing, which is different than trying to interact with your community, reading
Amen.
the chat,
Mm-hmm.
being positive. You know, when you go to, I don't want to paint them all with the same brush, but you go to a majority of these pro player streams and they are, you know, calling each other garbage, saying words you're not supposed to be saying on Twitch, and just overall being not as welcoming. And besides even that, using their platform to then do some content stuff. So all of these guys have had this extra support behind them, meaning like the pro league, where they can get tweeted out by Gears of War esports. They could get a host from the dev streams. They had all these opportunities to do content and they didn't do it. They just kept doing the same thing, that they're just doing their scrims, they're doing their wagers, and just acting like they're in a party with their friends as they're streaming, which that's not the same as like interacting with your chat and
Right.
having community involvement. It's more like you know, you go into a NBA game and watching, you know, the pro team play, and then you leave. You know, I get it. I go to games too. I love watching. I watch the esports too. You know, but the vibes of that is completely different, and it didn't have to be. When you look at someone like Domes, for instance, he's been one that has been able to cross over
Yep.
because he does pro style content, but he also is an entertainer. He does like he actually puts some effort into his stream. He talks to his chat. He's making jokes, and I think as far as a model for what a pro player shifting over to content could look like, I think Domes has done a really good job of that. I've known Domes for, I don't know, 11 years, I guess, 12 years, and he's always been more of an entertainer than the pro style.
Right.
So, you know, when these guys are like okay, so as far as the collabs go, when you got that style of streaming, now I don't mean like Domes, I mean the majority. Like, where does that leave a possible collab with someone like me? You know, like I come in and it's, do I even, okay, how about this? Let me just start this. Do I even want the type of people that are into the pro streams watching me? Do I really want the guys that come in and call their friends trash and drop N bombs constantly and are like, you know, just sweaty, constantly just trying to outplay everyone? It's just a little different than my community, which is more of like, we're having fun, I guess, more so than trying to sweat it out in an esports match every time.
Yeah.
And so I do see a lot of negative aspects to the wager / pro side, and I don't know where, because man, I'll be honest, like I've tried to do some collabs with people where they're open to it. You know, I know these guys, they do something. I don't have a good idea though. Like, what do I do? Bring in, like, you know, let's say I bring in a pro player to hang out for a little bit. We do like a little interview, maybe we're playing the game, and then that's it. That's about the extent of a collab. And I've always been open. If somebody came to me and said, "Hey, I got an idea. We think that, you know, would you be open to this?" And if somebody came to me with a proposal of any type of collaboration, I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm either going to do it or maybe just say, "Hey, could you just, you know, change a little bit," and then I'll do it, you know. But pretty much I'm going to do any collab that comes my way. But it's
Yep.
always
Same
been
here.
me. I've been the one that has to initiate all this shit, and then I can't really come up with something that I feel is an original idea that's worth doing as far as a collab goes with, you know, a major amount of the content people. And then on the other side of that, you know, I don't want to get too far in the weeds here, but you know, there's a legitimate, I'll just say on Twitch in general, there is a view botting issue on Twitch that is
Absolutely.
it's a serious issue, man. Like if you were to ask me what is one of the main things that can hurt Gears of War E-Day content moving forward, it would be fake engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're portraying if you're portraying something that isn't correct, like for instance, you know, you new viewer, right? New viewers like, oh my god, what is this game? E-Day, Gears of War, cool. I'm gonna go on Twitch and check it out. Goes on Twitch. What do you see? Whoever's at the top, like whoever's got the most viewers at the top of the list, right?
Right.
You know, you go into a stream, and I mean, basically, like if the streamer was good, they wouldn't have to view bot.
Right.
You know, so you go into a dead chat or chat bots, and as a new viewer, you're watching someone that already by definition is a bad streamer because they don't have any real people watching them. And then the person's like, oh, well, this is the most popular, you know, this is one of the top streamers, you know, and then they're like, I'm out of here, basically. Or maybe if we're lucky, they go down a little bit and then maybe find my channel with my 20 viewers in it, you know?
Yeah. Right.
Maybe, but it's frustrating when so much rides on the viewer count. So if I'm collabing with a guy and they're just a view botter, I've just brought my real community over to them while they don't have anything to offer to me. It's all fake engagement. So now I've just helped them out, but there's not really anything coming my way from it because there aren't any real people there. Or not any real people, but anyone that's there that's real already knows who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And moving forward with people that are new, they're going to come in and they're going to have a choice to make. And I'm afraid that I don't want people to be like driven away by thinking, oh, well, this is what the community is, and then
Right.
seeing negative aspects of it that don't accurately represent the true community.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see.
What do you think about collabs? Like, what kind of collabs are you like? Besides this, you know, this is an obvious one, but what kind of stuff were you thinking of?
Dude, let's do a co-stream for the fucking direct. I mean, let's, you know, I just, look, to me, dude, I'm just like, bro, I look at it like the more that we're all like kind of in each other's content and everything else, it just kind of helps the whole scene. I feel like if I'm in videos with, who, it doesn't matter whether it's a pro player, whether it's you know, I mean, it could, I feel like there's so much opportunity to whether they have events again. I mean, who knows, dude? I hope that they do events in the future. But the way I look at it, I'm playing this, dude. I mentioned this a couple of Gears casts ago. I'm treating E-Day like this is it. Like, I think that this is the end of Gears of War as we know it. So if this is, and I don't believe it is, by the way, guys, but I'm saying if it is the end, I'm going to go out, like, we're going to go out with a fucking bang. And so the way that I think that we do that is by making as much noise as we possibly can, whether it's on social media, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, all these different platforms. I think that we as a community need to create, I just feel like, yes, stuff like this is awesome, dude, where we're like kind of, you know, it's a podcast, a reason to get together. But I think also like for when E-Day does come out or when like the direct happens, I just think that we should all just be kind of like feeding off of one another and having pre-shows, post-shows, like just so on and so forth. I think that there's so many, I do believe that everybody's going to have so many opinions when this thing happens, when the direct happens. And so I'm kind of looking at it more near future than far future. I'm thinking, okay, how can we maximize this right now so that we can build as much hype as possible for the direct and for the showcase as a whole? And then together as a community, how can we how can we grow Gears of War significantly moving into between the direct and say betas and then the actual game launching, later this year. I do think there's a lot of opportunity, dude. I don't know. I mean,
let me ask you this. So, what you just said, a lot of what you just said is going to be dependent on stuff coming from the coalition.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
100%.
We need them to come out with something
mm-hmm.
to do content on, right? Because you look at someone like what Shadow, what all of you guys have been doing in this like dead period. You have to create the content yourself. You're not getting spoon fed from the coalition. So I think this has been a good like a training period for exactly what you're saying, where this is it. Like we're going full in. This is the last chance, and all of us have been training for this for 3 years now, where it's just been a drought and you just have to come up with stuff yourself. So now think about it like this. If they do not bring esports back, that is a huge chunk of the content that comes out of the coalition, or the at least that gives us something to work with. And if you remove that aspect of Gears of War, there's going to be a large hole there that I have not really seen how to fill. I've been super concerned about the future of esports for a bunch of reasons, but mainly just because it's easy content. When they come out with a Black Steel skin, hey, here's the new skins, check it out, gameplay with the new skin, here's what it looks like, let me play some games with it. And it gives us just an easy way to make some sort of relevant content. Without that, I don't know what's going to be there for us. I know they'll have character skins, I know they'll have weapon skins, but if you think about the amount of Black Steel that through the Gears of War 4 and 5 and the esports support, the skins, and how much that drove engagement, I'm not confident of what they could offer to fill that void. And I have not seen any signs that esports is coming back. And even worse than that, I've heard that it is not coming back. I mean, I've been told it's a no. And I'm at the point now that I'm refusing to believe it. But again, I have not seen the signs. Because if you're doing a multi-million-dollar pro league, you cannot just say, like in a short amount of time, okay, here's millions of dollars, get ready. I think that they would have had to have informed some of these pro players. I think they would be moving differently if they were putting teams together now and they were getting ready for the new game. I don't see any of that. I just see a lot of unknowns where they don't even know what's going on.
Hold on, I gotta hop in this for a second.
Yeah. Go ahead, Extra.
I think the big problem, and Mild Crisp just, he's talking to me in the chat, fellow content creator, if anybody out there knows who he is.
Crisp?
Yeah, Mild Crisp.
Yeah, he's been on the Gears
so
cast.
The big problem with Gears content is that, like, I've done, collabs with Mild Crisp, Carmine Forever, like really fun, engaging challenges for like throughout the series. Like we did Gears of War 3 Beast Mode on Insane, just the three of us, while there's like challenges and all this stuff. Like all these other streamers and, not like being like particular and like whoever I'm talking about, but there's just not enough in the Gears community to really push content forward. Like we're all just either we're really good at the game, or we're just playing the game, or we're not really doing much other than that. We really need to be pushing forward with like what Zero said, like with collaborations and going into other people's streams and promoting other people. Like we need a community, like not just, this guy's a pro, this guy's a pro, this guy's really good at the game, he just streams the game, he doesn't talk. Like we need more than that. And with how small the community is now. Like it's really hard right now, but I think with Gears of War E-Day approaching, there will be other people saying like, "Wow, I really do like this game and I'm going to stick with it." We really do need that back in Gears of War because I don't think that Gears of War E-Day needs to be like as competitive as Gears 4. I don't think it needs to be like very specifically well, fuck. I kind of lost my train of thought.
You mean as far as like competitiveness though, do you mean like the tuning of it, or what do you mean by that?
Like there's specific modes, right? Like in like the pro circuits and stuff like that, they all play escalation,
Yeah.
which is absolutely perfect for esports. But then other people get in the mindset like, okay, I have to try that hard because only the top creators are doing that. Like nobody at the top is really doing creative content. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, look, I just like I
Hmm.
get what you're saying, Starspawn. Like I get it, bro. I just and dude, I love esports. I Gears esports to me is the WWE of esports. It's like my favorite esport. All of those things, but I do think that we have to bring Gears back somewhat before kind of getting, because I mean, if they bring esports back, which I hope that they do, and I don't know if they're going to. I mean, yeah, you're talking about the void that's going to need to be filled there. Part of me thinks to myself, well, if we bring esports back too soon, and all these guys who were, you know, collecting salaries and not streaming the game, not even streaming scrims, and the viewership just wasn't there. Like the viewership for esports, I mean, like, yeah, we got viewership, but based on how much it cost for the players, like how much they were getting paid, there would just have to be fundamental changes for esports, in my personal opinion, for Gears. Because it's not as big as some other esports that are out there. And some of the players, I think, were comparing other esports and what they were getting paid versus what they were getting paid in the Gears esports scene. And, you know, because like when you look at, like, just say the Call of Duty League, for example, those guys, some of them are making $20,000, $30,000 a month. And so when you've got, and that's just a salary. When you got Gears esports back when it was around, I was hearing numbers like, you know, anywhere between $5,000, $10,000 a month that these guys were making. And it's like, but is that the money that they're making off of from the game? Is there a return on that investment if they're not streaming or anything else? And I just think that we need to kind of build like an ecosystem around your, like, content creators and yes, streamers. We need to create somewhat of an ecosystem where the pro players, and it doesn't even, if you're just really good at the game, because think about like Fortnite, for example. You had mentioned, like, could we be a sliver of what Fortnite was? Well, what made Fortnite great? It wasn't necessarily pros. It was, you had a guy named Ninja, right, who, he was good at the game when it first came out. He was good. He was absolutely awesome, but he was also entertaining. But then you had the guys who weren't maybe necessarily as entertaining, but they were just cracked as fuck at the game, like Tfue and, you know, so on and so forth. And I mean, they were entertaining, but like in a different way. They weren't as, you know, they were kind of just more locked in. They were just really good at the game. I think that we can have that here with Gears of War as well, with E-Day. I think that you're gonna have the guys who are quiet, who just lock in. They're maybe not really talking much to the chat. Maybe they would talk to you if you were doing a collab with them or something, or you know, whatever. But there's also going to be guys who are just straight up entertaining. They're really entertaining, and I think that E-Day will present an opportunity for people who have been here for a while and people who are brand new to really build a brand around E-Day, especially if it comes to PlayStation.
I was about to bring that up, man, because you were talking about that. I was listening to you before the show, or no, it was your video, your newest video that you just posted.
Oh yeah, where I was concerned that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I like the argument about Forza. You know, I mean, that does make sense. My only counter, though, would be, I think the Gears of War, I think they've already planned it to go to PlayStation early. I want to say day one. Like my official prediction, I know we're going to do some predictions. My official prediction is still going to be day one PlayStation. And the reason why is because of Reloaded. I think that they wouldn't have done Reloaded unless they planned on putting E-Day on PlayStation immediately. Now, maybe they've changed it for other games, but I think worst case scenario, they're going to look at the E-Day as a test case and just see how does it do. Because Forza, like, yeah, it would definitely have obviously sold way more on PlayStation. But as far as the ecosystem goes for the multiplayer of it, I think that it's still healthy with its current sales. E-Day, on the other hand, I'm not saying it wouldn't be healthy because obviously, Gears of War is always going to have X amount of people on Xbox that play it. But I think that the upside of putting it on PlayStation is so much higher than waiting. I don't see a benefit to just having it on Xbox right now, especially the new console isn't out yet, so they don't really need to push that. They've already said the new console is going to cost less than PlayStation, meaning they're focusing on price as a selling point as opposed to we got the best games. So I'm not saying that they're not going to do that, which, every aspect of marketing they're going to do because it's Microsoft. But in this specific case, because of what happened prior to when the new CEO took over,
Asha.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that there was already so much groundwork that had been done that they're just going to have to keep on the course with E-Day. And on the 7th, we're going to get PlayStation news on the 7th, where they'll either tell us it's coming out day one on PlayStation or whenever the delayed release will be on PlayStation. Either way, though, is good for us because there are, I think it was 3 or 4 times the amount of PlayStations in the world as far as like consoles natively out in the world. And when you start looking at the international, like in Japan, for instance, I believe they sold around 30,000 Xboxes there, which is nothing. I mean, that's not even not even an NFL game's worth of people at the stadium.
Right.
For the whole, there's I don't know, 18 million people in Tokyo alone. Yeah. So they all have PlayStations there. And
or
that's
PC.
PC's huge.
Yeah, of course. But no, what I'm saying is, if you're looking at this like this is a console Xbox exclusive, it's just we are hurting ourselves by not having this on PlayStation.
1000%. I mean, what do you think the likelihood? Do you think it's because Xtra and I have we've been talking about this too. I mean, I think the more I've thought about it, bro, is I think it's going to be a timed exclusive. I do think it's coming to PlayStation because I think that they.
What would be the time frame though? What would you think?
Say a year.
That's what's bugging me about it, bro.
Oh, that would kill it. If it was a year, it would be bad. That would be bad.
I don't want it to be a year. I mean, dude, I really think that you strike while the iron's hot. Here's my question, dude. Xtra and I were talking about this yesterday on open mic. Do you think that if Gears of War E-Day comes out on PlayStation day one, it could compete with a game like Call of Duty, Arc Raiders, PUBG? Do you think it could compete with those games based on coming out on PlayStation day one? I mean, obviously, Call of Duty, we were talking yesterday, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 reveal trailer came out. In 24 hours, it reached like 24 million views. I mean, unbelievable. Wow. Call of Duty, it's crushing it, dude. I think, what did you say, Xtra? It's up to like over 40 million views now. Now, some of it, dude,
last night it was 40 million views.
That's amazing.
Now, they are, I'm not going to say they're botting it, there was rumor that they were botting the Black Ops 7 one. What they're doing is they're running Google ads or like YouTube ads like crazy on it. So it's inflating the number of people that are actually watching it. But regardless, dude, 24 million views in
What did you think of it, by the way? You're a COD guy, right? Like you've played.
Yeah, I've loved COD over the years. I'm not really. I was not. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest with you, dude. It just kind of felt like more of the same of what we've been kind of getting. Nothing really innovative. I was telling Extra this yesterday. It just, I don't know. I want them to create a super team of the Call of Duty studios between Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Raven Software. Create the super team and make one game every like 5 years and make it awesome, you know. But they're not going to do that. They're gonna come out with a new one every year because it's a cash cow now, dude. I mean, they make so much money, and yeah, they've been hurting a little bit the last couple of titles, but I just
still making bank.
Yeah, they're still making money.
Well, let me ask you this, man. So you said it's more of the same, which you know I don't really play Call of Duty. I've never really played it. I've never played Halo either. But I would look at it like maybe the Madden franchise, where every year you just basically pay for a roster bonus, right? But my question is this though: how, like for Gears, I've heard some rumors that we're going to get some different movement, and I'm just asking you, like, at what point would you feel betrayed almost? You know, I felt betrayed about Judgment's control scheme being changed, you know, so I was kind of particular about that. I've heard that there's going to be a sliding mechanic added to E-Day to where we're going to have a Fortnite Arc Raider style slide. And I think that would be fun. I think it'd be fun to slide around corners and Nasher people and whatnot. Okay. But what do you guys think about as far as adding new things like that and trying to make it fresh and not the same stuff again, but still keeping the flavor of Gears and the character of Gears?
I'm gonna let Extra go on this. I mean, all I'm gonna say before I let Extra go is I think that there needs to be StarSpawn. I think there needs to be some fundamental changes to Gears of War for the new generation. I'm not saying that I felt betrayed from Gears 5 from a story perspective. I felt that, you know, and I've said this a lot publicly about the semi-open world, the direction we were going with Gears 6. I thought we were going to have a full open world. They changed the name from Gears of War to Gears. And I mean, we can go back and forth about the reasoning for all of those things. I felt betrayed from that kind of stuff. But in terms of like slide movement and stuff, I'm good with having some fundamental changes, because I don't know, dude. Like I just think that we need a hard reset. Extra, I'll let you go, dude. Like, what do you think about what StarSpawn's alluding to?
So as far as like the movement and stuff like that goes for E-Day, this unfortunately has to be one of the most beginner, casual, friendly Gears of War games we've ever seen. It just has to be. Like, we've gotten to a point now with Gears 5 and the movement. I mean, the movement is... Before they changed it in, like, I think it was Operation 8, before they switched off the game to go do Unreal Engine 5, they switched the movement speed. They toned down a lot of the damage from the weapons. Like, everything was kind of changed. And before that, like, the movement was super fucking quick. Like, way, way, way too fucking quick. And, like, not even pros like that. Not even pros like it. And they really fucking play the game. And so, unfortunately, this game has to implement new things. Not only, like, new movement, but, like we've talked about before, like, destructible cover, like e-holes erupting in maps and like in Horde, like there's a live environment, like there just needs to be more done with this game specifically for like new players. Or
you just saying that, I can't believe out of all these years I've never thought about that. But why didn't Horde have e-holes?
I don't know.
I've never thought about that. That would have been perfect to add. I can't believe they didn't do that, where they just randomly would come up on the Horde map.
Dude, bro, StarSpawn, Extra and I, dude, we have gone into like just you can imagine over the last number of months here with content, and I mean you know this as well. I mean, dude, we go into the theory realm like just like theories
Rabbit
of
holes.
like the dark rabbit holes of like what could make things really cool. I mean, even like the way that the showcase is presented or the direct, people are like, yo, they should come out of the floor from an emergence hole, like onto the stage, and you know, just like all kinds. Like, there's so many different ideas. I mean, that's the thing with Gears of War, dude. I believe there's so much untapped potential of what the franchise has done so far, and what could still, you know, be something. So, I agree that I think that we need to have a system in place that is good for beginners, as well as intermediate players and experts. There's got to be something that kind of is very welcoming to new players, but also is good for the pros, the experts, like all of that stuff. I think that ranked play and all that needs to be added maybe a couple of months after the game comes out. Let's just kind of get.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that. Why? Like, why would you want that later?
I just think that you need to focus.
Second wave.
Yeah, I think a second wave. Like think about games like Call of Duty, right? So Call of Duty, when it launches, will not have ranked play day one. It will release it a few months later, like into the new year, and it gives a second burst of life to everything because everyone's like, "Oh, dude, I want to hop into the ranked mode or whatever." And it's
So do they have leaderboards still for the, like, when it first came on? Did it have leaderboards on Call of Duty before the ranked, or is it just like bots? Yeah, like, what is it?
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
it different?
they have leaderboards, but like ranked play is what's neat about ranked play is like they have obviously different ranks, and then they've really put spotlights on like the top 250 people in the world. There's different cosmetic items that you can earn and things of that nature. Now, a lot of it, Call of Duty has had a massively a huge hacking issue where people are botting, they're hacking. I mean, you were talking about, the botting and stuff like that. There is a massive issue like this within Call of Duty where some of the people that are on the top 250 are not legit. They have different like wall hacks and stuff like this, like that.
Oh yeah,
It's a problem.
It's every game really now.
Right,
it seems like
that is an issue. But what it does, and it is, if you look at the numbers, it does help with continuing to get like a second wave of people to come back to the game to play ranked. And then you have a pretty dedicated audience to ranked modes, because what I'm saying is, dude, is like, I feel like with Gears 5, they had the launch tournament, what was it, the E-League launch tournament or whatever, and I don't think that they should. Gears 5 felt like they almost made it for esports somewhat. I feel like this needs to be made for everyone, and then maybe esports later, right? Like, or like whether it's a couple months down the road or whatever, where you have the ranked modes. It just gives you a second wave. It gives you a second burst. I don't know. Like, I mean, do you think that you would have more impact right now? Like, immediate, like I think we're on the same page with PlayStation. You would have more impact right now if it released right now. But do you think we'd have more impact right away with ranked, where you're splitting up the community immediately instead of letting it build up?
Here's my experience as far as. Even at its peak on Gears of War, it was tough having a large enough player base to have a traditional ranking system, because what ended up happening was on like Gears 4, when you got to a certain rank, every single game you played was against sweatiest people that are like really trying every single game. So that leaves you with either purposely deranking to try to get like a fun game, or every single game you play is super sweaty. And for me, like I bring in the chat to play, like if you want to play Gears with me, you just send a message, I invite you in, but I'm not in party because I'm doing a stream. I'm talking to the chat. Right. We're not sweating it out, but we're still in a 5-stack, right? We're in a ranked mode and I'm in a stack, they're putting me against a real stack, meaning they're talking to each other. And as you know, communication on Gears of War is the difference between winning and losing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And if I'm constantly in a ranked hell, basically, that limits what I can do as far as content goes. Because if I wanted to play, this is just me, man. I'm not saying, this is just what I enjoy to do and my type of stream. I'm not a big like, doing call outs and just focusing on the game when I'm streaming. If I did that, I would just play off stream. I would just play with my friends. So when I'm streaming, I'm doing that for other I'm using the game as a vehicle for me to make content, which is different than I'm trying to win a game. And if I'm constantly shoved into there, now I don't mind it if we had a huge player base. Like let's just say PlayStation Day 1 is in, right? And the same I've been saying this for a while, but the same percentage, because it's like a small percentage of people on Xbox that play competitive shooters, and there's a smaller slice of that is playing Gears of War. But it takes a certain type of gamer to even play Gears of War multiplayer. You have to have a certain amount of skill as a gamer. You have to have a certain amount of time that you put into it. You have to try to get better at the game. It's a conscious decision that you have to make to play Gears of War and say, I'm going to learn how to play this game. So it's a small slice, but that small slice percentage wise, if you take the same percentage for PlayStation, which is 3 to 4 times the player base, that same slice is going to be more people than are the total amount of people that play on Xbox Gears of War. So we could possibly have a doubling of our player base overnight, where the same amount of people maybe that buy it on Xbox buy it on PlayStation 2. And in that case, a ranking system could work because there's so many more people in there. They can tune it to where maybe, let's say you're a higher rank, but they let you play against people maybe not just 1 rank below you, but 2 ranks below you, maybe even 3 ranks, just depending on the player base. So you get a game that is not the people trying to win, and more of like a fun game, or more of like more of a casual experience, even though it is ranked.
Let me tell you
Now,
why I don't want ranked.
at all?
Well, not at all, but like later on. Do we remember the Gears 5 ranking system?
Yeah.
Do we all remember how bad that was at launch?
Yeah.
I don't want that again. I would
But
rather them have what they had in Gears 4, where, it wasn't perfect at launch, like fucking nothing is at launch. But the fact that they waited a little bit, added ranked, and then they started situated on the ranking system, it worked a lot better in Gears 4 than Gears 5. Gears 5's ranking system was absolutely atrocious. And it only got good in, like, what was it, Operation 4? I think it was Operation 4. They added the skill points to the ranking system. Or what was it called? The GP? Something like that?
Yeah.
That's what I miss.
Like I just okay. Let me put it to you guys like this. At least in my personal experience, can we all acknowledge that Gears of War, as a franchise, I'm not saying every game, but overall, has pretty subpar, if not terrible launches? Is that fair to say? Can we all like?
no, I think they've had decent launches. I mean,
Gears 5 was
what
the
more
worst
did you
one for
want
sure.
from them? Like, what more?
Well, I mean, like like Gears of War 2. Do we remember
Yeah.
what happened with Gears of
Oh,
War 2?
I was in line for that.
Yeah.
I stood in line to get that game.
What I'm saying though is like, I mean, it's just like I'm not like, I guess like the launch, I'm saying like the server issues, the like just.
Oh yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not like
Well-
I'm not saying like like a global scale. I'm not saying like, oh, it sold terrible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from a server perspective.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, okay, that's different,
The
yeah.
disasters that we have seen with some, not all of them, but I'm saying with some of these Gears of War titles, it's like maybe a good idea would be, how about we focus on like a few core things. Let's get campaign right, let's get Horde, and let's get like some of the multiplayer stuff right. And then later we can, after they've fixed, all the stress tests, I mean, and I hope that they do this with like betas and stuff with E-Day, they kind of get a lot of the issues, the bugs, the glitches, that, you know, get all that shit kind of taken care of before the game launches. But then, you know, just kind of focusing on one thing at a time, I feel is, I think some studios can handle everything all at once. I think some studios need to kind of focus on one thing at a time. And I don't know, maybe the coalition can, you know, handle all of these different things. Maybe they've totally figured it out at this point. I just know that I don't want to have a really like shaky launch from like the servers and all of that stuff where, you know, and then everyone's kind of like, not that it's like splitting up the community, but like, I mean, if it comes to PlayStation, dude, day one, I mean, okay, like I can see your point there with having ranked immediately, but I just think that it helps with getting like a second burst of people later on where they can really focus on, okay, like they're getting community feedback. People are like, yo, we love this, we don't like this. There's new cosmetic items that we really want to, like more like really cool earnable items than like payable items that the people in the community want. Like, I don't know, there's just,
you want to see the battle pass style come back?
No.
What was it called?
No.
What did they
Fuck
call it?
no.
What was that thing called? It wasn't a battle
Tour of
pass.
Duty?
Yeah, Tour of Duty.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I want, bro. I don't know if you've ever played Halo Reach, but if you ever played Halo Reach, one of the top rank with Halo Reach was called the Inheritor rank. And you could like, it was a grind fest, dude, to get up to the Inheritor rank. But after you got there was like this super cool, it was like a skull mask, and it was super fucking sick, dude. Those are the types of things I want to see with Gears of War E-Day, where it's like the grind means something, where the more that you grind, the more that you earn. And I'm not talking about shit that I can just buy in a shop. I'm saying the stuff that I can actually earn within the game, going through the trenches and the grind. I want the re-ups. I want the re-up icons, the emblems, the titles, all that stuff to be fucking cool. Like, can we make this shit cool again? Like that's kind of, at least I really want to see it. I want to see the earnable stuff be awesome. Like, I think of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 back in 2009. Everyone wanted to get to the 10th prestige, and they had like this 10th prestige medallion that like spun around on you. Like back in the day, it was really cool. It was so coveted, and people wanted it so bad that people were creating modded and hacked lobbies to get it. Like, because they didn't want to go through the grind to get there, and it was just such a grind. And so what I'm saying is I just really want to see stuff like that with E-Day, where it's like, the grind means something. There's something about like the earnable shit is cooler than the payable stuff. The stuff that,
Gears of War 3 2.0 progression system. Let's go.
yeah,
I'm curious to see what they would say about it, because up until now they've been pretty clear about, we don't want to limit you know, Joe, the guy that has to work 40 hours, you know, the dad that comes home and only gets to play an hour or two a night. They don't want to limit that person from being able to get the content. So that's why they've made it to where you can either kind of buy it or earn it. But I am with you.
When did they say this? Like
that was it was in reference to, it was during when they were deciding whether or not they were going to do all the skins, because there were some exclusives and everyone lost their shit because the Black Phantom skins. They were kind of toying with maybe releasing those, and people were spamming them with messages and stuff, and they had to come out and say, we are not going to make those available finally. But they ended up making everything else available. So you can get like the ice skin, ice Kate you can buy now, and there's some other skins. I can't remember all of them, but some of those were exclusive to the time, where it was like that goat skin. And the one with the green controller, that was an exclusive. You had to play in the Microsoft store to get that skin. And then they made that public for everyone. So the only thing that was left were the Black Phantoms. And the reasoning behind this was, we don't want to restrict anyone from getting the content. So we give you an opportunity to earn it if you want, or if you want to just buy it, you can buy it. That was how it was kind of explained at the time.
In my opinion, all the esports stuff should be, all the esports shit should be viable. Like, that should be viable. But all the other stuff, I'm sorry, but if you don't have time to earn the stuff in the game, you just don't get it. Like that's probably
Yeah,
how
I
it should
agree.
be.
I agree with you. I'm an exclusive guy. Shadows is not an exclusive guy. He just doesn't care. He's like, I just put everything for sale. He doesn't give a shit. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want something exclusive for myself, you know? Like if I'm here at the time to get the thing and I showed up, I'm here, I'm in the chat, I claimed the fucking thing, or you know, you had to do something, you had to be here, watch this. I think if you miss that, then it's not a big deal. It's just a weapon skin. But to
Right.
me, I was there, so I want to have that little bit of exclusiveness. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just
I
me.
agree. I think I'm with Extra. I really think, bro. I mean, I'm with both of you guys. I think that the stuff that you should be able to pay for to help fund the esports scene is the skins and stuff like that. I think, and you make some really cool shit. I think that would be amazing. And I think that, think about Dota. Dota has the biggest esports pool in all of esports. And what do? The way they do it is they put shit out there for the community to buy, and part of it goes into the pool for the international. And every year, the international is the biggest esports event in the whole fucking world. So why can we not do that with, I mean, yes, Gears of War, it's different than Dota, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, I want to see stuff more catered to that. And the shop, like, I mean, StarSpawn, what do you think about, you know, I've gotten comments about people talking about the WWE skins and maybe this partnership happening. Are you okay with running around as The Rock or Undertaker as a fucking character?
I think two things happen with that. One, Rod Ferguson personally likes wrestling, and that he personally wanted to work with them, and it was easy to sell that by saying the demographics are so similar. And I think it just came down to that. Like, hey, a lot of people that play Gears of War also watch wrestling. And then Rod Ferguson had no problem with it, you know, which is funny to me because he had such a problem with it, you know, somebody smoking in the game. But you know, it's fine. Let's just go to wrestling where they're hitting each other with chairs and jumping off of the top rope and elbowing guys. I don't know. You know what I mean? It was just kind of, it was, the whole thing was strange, but he obviously had a, where he personally just wanted to work with them and carved out a thing. This new thing that's happening, again, I think it's demographic based, but this is what I was going to talk to you about before I forget. I did look into what Xbox has done, and they actually have pulled the marketing responsibilities out of their studios and centralized it into a separate place. So now there's not ever going to be another Rod Ferguson making the deals, you know, like influencing, you know, like, hey, I like Run the Jewels, so I guess we're going to bring them in. Or, you know, I like Alien, the movie, so I guess we're going to, or Terminator, you know, I'm a Terminator guy, so I guess we're going to mash that together. I like wrestling, so we're going to bring wrestlers in, you know. All of that's been taken out of the coalition's responsibility. And the department, what was it called? It's like games and content or something like that. And it's headed by Matt Booty himself. So he's got to do all their games now, not just focus on what his pet projects would be. And I think that's going to have a huge impact on the collaborations moving forward. I think they're going to focus on relevant things. They must have got a lot of traction from doing wrestling collabs in the past. So maybe I'm being a little too critical about it. Maybe it was effective. Maybe they got data to show it was effective and they decided to do that again. But I personally, I do not want to run around Gears of War with pink leotards with voice lines and, you know, doing dances and twerking and stuff. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not for the wrestling.
I'm just glad
twerking.
that that's on the record now. Okay.
Yes.
Like, because Extra and I are kind of on the same page with that. But okay. So
I'll do Doom Guy is fine. I could see a Doom Guy crossover, maybe Halo crossover, things that are relevant to gaming, to Xbox. But as far as these outside things, it's tough, man. If there's not a legitimate connection there, you know, just shoving the Terminator in the game, it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel organic. It felt artificial to me. So I don't know. Maybe that's on them to introduce it to us better in a way that makes sense, or somehow have a way to tie it in.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I don't know, dude. I disagree about Doomslayer and Master Chief. Like I was
you
telling
don't
you,
even like that?
I don't. No,
Okay.
I
it's
want to
not.
toggle.
It's not Gears of War. I look, dude. Here's the thing. If you said, "Hey, Josh, we're gonna do a," if the coalition, came to us and said, "Look, we're gonna do a limited time mode where you can be Doomslayer and Master Chief and you can run around in a limited time mode," I'm good. But if you said that these now are characters that you can run around as, I don't love that. I just don't, dude. Like, it's kind of like in Call of Duty, I don't want to run around as Bart Simpson or Nicki Minaj. Bro, like, I just don't want to, like, so this is fucking Gears of War, dude. It's not Doom. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not Halo. I'm sorry, dude. Like, it should, like, if you gave me, I said this, I said this yesterday. If you have a WWE event or something, you play in the event, whatever it is, right? And you earn like a sticker or a badge, a WWE badge or something to put on your COG gear or your Locust gear, I'm good with that. Because it shows that your character's gone through like certain events, the trenches, the gauntlet, the grind, however you want to look at it. I'm good with that. But when you start changing fundamentals again, where it's like, okay, now you can be Doomslayer or Master Chief, it's just, I wanted to stick with this is Gears of fucking War, dude. These are the Gears of War characters. Because, dude, I'm hoping that we were talking about this, and I want to pick your brain on this, Alex. The Gears of War E-Day, the most destructive, devastating time in Sarah's history, I believe, Xtra and I were talking about this, where this is an opportunity for the Coalition to introduce a lot of new characters that very well may not survive Gears of War E-Day, but they could have new characters, brand new, that we don't even know about yet, really, at all. And this is a great opportunity for them to introduce new characters. So in my opinion, instead of rinsing and repeating characters from other franchises, from other Xbox IPs, like, build new shit. And this is part of my argument with Gears of War still being, up to this point, I guess outside of Reloaded, being an Xbox exclusive. It should not be an exclusive anymore, because Gears of War's been around now going on 20 fucking years. It's time for the creators, that being like developers and publishers, to come out with new ideas. Like, where's the innovation with new characters, new ideas that come out? And those are the new Xbox exclusives. These franchises have been around for so long, need to be available to the fucking masses. And see, this has been my issue, and I'm starting to get fucking hot right now, but like, that's been my biggest issue, bro, with Gears of War. I love this franchise so much, and I just want I want to see its full potential. And I think that if we once again kind of go back into this mindset of it's okay to have like other IPs come into Gears of War, I don't know, dude. Like, I have a problem with it, because we need to bring this franchise back. And if you just lose a few people, or 10,000 people see that you're, dude, they're going back in these cosmetic skins with fucking Doomslayer, Master Chief, it may turn off people who want something real, something grounded, something that, like, that raw emotion that we saw in that first trailer for E-Day, that announcement trailer, bro, that tugged on everything that I wanted out of a Gears of War trailer. And so I guess kind of where I'm like going with that, dude, is I passionately feel that if the Coalition, they have an opportunity here to kind of really reset this whole fucking thing. And it concerns me, because we've seen lack of marketing, lack of a number, like, just certain things are lacking. There's certain things that, they're doing well, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of
There's definitely some unconventional stuff going on that is hard for us, as being like, we've seen standard marketing procedures, and them seeming to be waiting till the last second to do all of these things that we feel like they should have been doing. Like, where's the new Dana, for instance, right?
Right. We were just talking
We
about
were just
that.
talking about
We
it,
were
dude.
just talking about that yesterday.
That's like a shoe that needs to drop before you could legitimately say, okay, well, they're getting ready to do their dev streams. They're getting ready to do their content creator outreach, their pro league outreach, all this stuff. Because that was the guy. There isn't even a guy right now. There's nobody knows who to even talk to. There's
I don't even know
nobody
who's writing the
tweeting out.
story.
No.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Well, StarSpawn, here I have a question for you, because I know you know you've got a lot of connections and stuff, and obviously, like, guys, I've said it multiple times, I don't have any like insider information. Like, no one's from the coalitions reached out to me like about anything. Okay, it's been very, very quiet. But from your connections that you have, do you believe that the lack of marketing is an Xbox issue or a coalition issue? We had Shadows on the show, and Shadows believes it's an Xbox issue. Like, that the coalition has to get get like every tweet approved from a higher up at the coalition, then a higher up at Xbox to even fucking tweet. None of this is like, I don't, like I said, I don't know, but I'm just like trying to get to the bottom of this, because I'm like, okay, why were there cryptic tweets in Call of Duty? Infinity Ward was giving cryptic tweets before they showed off, like for days before they showed off the Modern Warfare 4 reveal. Did they have to get approval from Xbox? Like,
well, remember what I told you about them taking that responsibility out of the studios? So
you're saying the whole, like all of the marketing? I thought you, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a separate department now. So here's what it's called. Game studio marketing teams were moved under Matt Booty, now president of game content and studios. That's the name of the department, that's where the person, I'm assuming the new Dana, will actually work in that separate department, maybe, or will be like a hybrid that is a coalition employee but takes orders from that department. So the days of these studios that are all under Xbox, any of these studios that Microsoft owns, they've centralized the marketing to where they're not as responsible for it anymore.
You're saying
I don't know.
Wait, hold on. You're saying the studios aren't responsible for it?
Right. So they moved it to let's see, studio marketing team. I'm just trying to see what the exact place
because okay, Alex, what Lee was talking about, he was saying that he would get on the case to Dana about the marketing. He's like, yo, where's the marketing for Gears of War right now, dude? Like, you guys are just you're bringing out like a new update or something. Where's the marketing for this? Where, like, you guys new skins coming or whatever, where's the fucking marketing? And he just, it was almost like his hands were tied, like he couldn't fucking do
I'm
anything.
sure they were.
So I mean, but what I guess like it's just hard.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't either. It's hard for me.
Well,
to
because of the abuse of the former people that worked there. You know, you had a guy bringing in his own pet projects because he liked those people. That's why we have Run the Jewels in Gears of War 4. He liked them as a music group. That's why we had wrestling. He liked wrestling.
Okay, so you're talking about you're talking about Rod.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah.
He used it to fulfill his own personal. Like, it was like Microsoft was paying for his dreams to come true.
Gotcha.
So they just pull that out of there, and there's no more conflicts of interest. There's no more somebody there that's just using it to do what they want to do. You know, when you hear Rod Ferguson, he took his studio team to Italy to scout locations. Okay, like, think about this for a second. For these houses and stuff that we walked by in 5 seconds on Gears of War 4, he had to go to Italy to scout the locations, to take pictures and stuff. Now, I'm sure it doesn't take a genius to think, hey, why don't I just go to Google, type in what does the Italian countryside look like, and then we could just take those images and then build the game around it. But he wanted to go on a free vacation. So these things are not only taking money out of the budget, but there's a serious conflict of interest there, man. You know, they wanted, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a Gears of War 5 commercial during the Super Bowl that year. Do you remember this?
No,
No.
I don't remember that.
There's like, you know, the Kate and the Queen Mira, where they
Yeah.
had the faces kind of
Yeah.
on each other.
Blonde.
Where,
Yeah. She
yeah,
was like
that
in her
commercial
trance. Yeah.
that ran during the Super Bowl. And at
Did
the
it? I
time,
don't
I looked
remember
it up.
that.
I looked up how much it was going for. It was $10 million for a commercial on the Super
Fuck.
Bowl. So, you know, Rod
Damn.
Ferguson probably liked the Super Bowl, wanted to deal with the NFL people. Hey, I'm buying an ad. And, you know, they probably have a thing for those people where they get to go to the Super Bowl or they get to do some sort of something because they're an ad buyer. And again, another example of, you know, do we really need a commercial for on Super Bowl? I would say no. I would say that is not going to really be worth the investment, and that we could have had 2 or 4 multiplayer maps for what it costs to run a one-time ad during the Super Bowl.
Okay, but here, okay, so we're talking about, yeah, Rod had all these other, you know, he had all these, whatever.
It was like an abuse of power.
There was a number of
opinion.
different things going on. Okay, but here's my thing, bro. Rod's not here now, so where the fuck
Right.
is the marketing?
That is being done in a separate place, and you got to look at it like we got to do marketing for Forza, we got to have our Halo stuff done, we got whatever other games Microsoft is coming out with, the Game Pass promotion. Everything is in one department now,
Okay,
and Gears of War is just one of those games.
What about like just tweeting? Is that some other department?
I think that they need to hire the guy.
They need
And
to
whether or
hire.
not they'll
They
take-
need, yo, hire
Yeah,
me.
they're gonna have
Bro, Xtra was saying this the other day. Xtra was like, bro, I'll do
Just
it.
hire me. I will do it for you.
I'll do it for free. Bro, I'll do it for
Well,
free, dude.
I like that you brought that up because it kind of goes into something I wanted to bring up myself,
Okay.
which is this. What I see now at the Coalition, I am very happy with the people that they have working there right now. For the people that I do know have been hired there, they are real Gears of War people. They are not what I call stepping stone people, meaning they just got a job to get another job, which
Right.
is super common in the video game industry. Super common where people like, I don't care what game it is. If I'm getting a raise, I'm going to take that job and then I'm going to move on to the next game.
Yeah.
The people working that I know at the Coalition, like Strangulate, that man loves Gears of War. He knows how to play at the highest levels, literally a pro player in-house to play test the game.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's awesome.
That alone, you know, this is a guy that they brought in on a contract. He designed Tomb. He worked on the Tomb on the level design. He was on an 18-month contract. While he's there, he's going back to school. Finishes his contract, gets his degree in something that they must have told him, like, hey, if you get a degree in this, we'll bring you back, you know, whatever his specialty is. He is now a full-time employee there.
Wait, are you talking about
streamer.
Strangulate? Who are you talking about?
Yes, Strangulate.
Okay.
He was the second guy I ever followed on Twitch. So I followed Shadows first. I subbed to him 2016, and then I noticed the Strangulate guy. So I started hanging out in his chat a lot. So, you know, I got to know him a little bit, as much as you get to know a streamer, you know, like being in the chat and whatnot. And he has been able to turn that into a full-time employee position at the Coalition, getting to work on the game that he loves. Okay. And then going back to what you were talking about, where you said, you know, about bringing in weird characters and stuff, you want to just stick with Gears. I had 2 points on that. The first point is a lack of strong Gears of War content makes things like Doomslayer and the Halo people as skins seem more prominent because the rest of our characters are kind of weak. We're not being introduced to new characters like we should be. And when I look at, you know, like go past 4 and 5, for me, my favorite, most authentic Gears of War campaign experience was the Hive Busters DLC. Okay. And you're talking about brand new characters that in that one DLC, I identified with those characters finally. And this is after not being able to identify with JD or
Right.
Kate or any of these newer storylines. I didn't personally gravitate towards those as I did the original characters.
Of course.
Zero, zero. I think you're muted.
No, he's
No,
talking to somebody.
I got someone here,
Oh,
bro.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
give me 1 minute.
All right, sorry. So once they brought those new characters into the Hive Busters, I actually felt like this is what I want. This is what I've been craving from a Gears of War
Right.
game. It just had that flavor, and it's one of those things where it's hard to describe it, but you know it when you see it.
Oh yeah,
And
if nobody out there has played Hivebusters, like go play Hivebusters and compare that to Gears 5's story. Like it's like a completely different like a completely different studio worked on that. Like
yes,
that's what it felt like.
and I
Like
feel that gives me a lot of hope for the future.
right. Right. And the person that if you guys don't know this, the person that made the soundtrack for that E-Day trailer, the one that remade Mad World, he's the same person that did the Hivebusters soundtrack. Same
Oh,
person. And
yeah, I
now they're
didn't know
bringing him
that.
back for E-Day, and I'm really fucking happy about that.
You see these things that are good are stacking up, and this is what's
Yeah.
making me feel so good about the whole situation. I see good choices being other than the market, like the marketing thing is an issue. I mean, I'll admit I'm not
Absolutely.
happy with it, but I will say this: like those guys at Microsoft, they're getting paid the big bucks. You know, they're getting paid 6, 7 figures to do these type of things.
Right.
Whatever they're doing, they must have a good plan. They must have some kind of data-based plan and marketing that either it's a new thing, it's unconventional, or it's something that they have a lot of confidence in. And it a lot of times it's hard to trust them, but when you see several good decisions that have been made, I really I feel more confident now than I have in the past, and I'm more skeptical, I'm more jaded, I'm more dismissive, I'm more I question things more now than I ever have in the past. And even
Right.
with all of that extra scrutiny, I still feel so good about E-Day.
I do too. I do too.
I think this could really be the one. And what sucks about that though is I've said this in the past where it's like, oh, okay, Gears 4, this is it. Like we're finally back. We're gonna pop off, and then Gears 4 comes out and it has its issues. And then we're like, okay, Gears 5, this is it. And then something comes along and screws everything up. It seems like we're always one step forward, two steps back. But I think this time is going to be different. I think that they're going to try some different things. They're gonna have more of a unconventional approach, and hopefully that includes the PlayStation mans. Bring them in, and just think about how hype it would be to have a legitimate esports match, first time ever, a full team of PlayStation versus a full team of Xbox.
Right.
That seems to sell itself. I don't understand why they wouldn't want that or why they aren't focusing on that. And that's why I think day one PlayStation will be the play. But again, that comes with will esports be back or not? That's the question I'm really, really concerned with, man. And I know you I don't know if I'm overvaluing esports or not, but I just again, man, I see a huge hole there that I mean, what would fill it? What would you think would fill that? If the coalition has no esports to talk about, there's no Gears esports Twitter, there's no events coming up, there's no skins, there's no anything on the pro side. What do they promote then? Just the story? Do they do the movie, promote the movie more? Do they go in that route, content route? Like where do they go without having that easy content of esports?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they need to definitely create more like creative outlets for people to have. Sorry, I'm dealing with a lot of bots on my fucking stream right now. Hold on.
Oh, well, you getting hit?
Yeah.
Man, damn.
What is going on right now? Fix this.
Like cooking you up.
They're
Where
doing
are you
something.
on? Where on Twitch?
On YouTube.
Uh, YouTube's really usually a lot better about that.
Gosh, it's
They
just
have a
constant.
much better system. Let's see here. All right. Are you doing yeah, I was gonna not stream the showcase, but I gotta try to do YouTube content, man. So I'm gonna record like a reaction video, I think, and then try to use that to kick off my newest YouTube adventures.
Hell yeah.
I got to like I've been super lazy about my content, um, and I have video ideas. That's definitely the most important aspect of it is I have some ideas for videos, which is different than saying I just want to make a video. What should I make? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I want to focus on that and try to get some, I don't know, like at least some reaction stuff and maybe some news style content. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to just do the same thing everybody else is doing, which has always been my problem with YouTube in general.
Yeah,
I do like doing these kind of longer form discussion type things too.
I like it too. I'm on here a lot.
Yeah. Hey, so how's the fam, man? Is everything good?
Everything's good.
Yeah.
It's
I knew
crazy
you
to
were
think I've
having
had 3 kids since Gears 5.
I knew you were having some car issues. You got that all sorted, right?
Yeah.
You back on the road?
Yep.
That's good, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe
Yo, too.
Zero has 3 kids too. Like both of you have 3 kids.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's more than an esports team, man. You got an esports team and a coach
Dude,
now.
we're creating our esports teams, bro.
We are creating the Gears cast.
It's a 2.0s.
I don't know what Xtra had said to you, Alex, in terms of when we were talking about, you had mentioned like what other things that they could do outside of like what could fill the void of esports.
Yeah.
And dude, like, I really, when I think about it, I do think that there's a number of, I think there's a few certain things that they could absolutely do in terms of like kind of adding to the longevity of the game long term. But one of them would probably be, I mean, I think about if you just make a great game and you have consistent content like that, like just gradually comes out over time. I think about Fortnite. Like, let's just take Fortnite as an example, right? It wasn't built around esports. It was just, it kind of like just, they created an esports or FNCS and all that stuff over time, but it started just as a game that people just really, just generally enjoyed. And so I think that, I'm not saying that you have to add Battle Royale to Gears of War. There's been people have brought that up, like a Gears Battle Royale. There's been a number of different, Extras talked about 20v20 modes, like having larger scale maps and like crazy things happening on the battlefield. I think that right now, I just to be clear, I believe that esports is coming back. I do think it will. I just don't think it is immediately, and I don't think it should immediately. I think that we need to kind of grow this thing out a little bit, and then maybe do some community-driven tournaments, community-driven things. I'm gonna be doing tournaments in Zero Dark, that's for sure. I'm gonna do like more like local tournaments here, but. I think that community-driven events or community-driven like tournaments and stuff, and then over time, you get to the point of, I guess like over the long term, you can start adding like more and more, whether it's game modes or whatever. I don't think that esports is necessarily like, it does help the scene, but I don't think it's a make or break day one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting. Because prior they always came out with the esports when the announcement came out. They were like, that we got a bunch of money for you. Here's a prize pool. And last time I even went back and watched the E-League thing, and I completely forgot, but they were showing like Southeast Asia, UK, Brazil, like they were going to have a worldwide Gears of War esports. This was prior to COVID, obviously, so the plan got, the COVID screwed up everything, but they at least had the vision that they wanted to take this worldwide. And considering the lack of Xboxes that are in Southeast Asia, they have to have been thinking about making this game cross-platform for a while. I just, again, man, I don't know how you fill the void, and if you wait, like, what do you do? I guess everybody's been waiting already, but what do you tell these guys, these pro players that have been waiting for 7, 8 years? You got to wait a little bit longer now, even. And then
they
as
just
far,
gotta experience the game. Really, they gotta experience the whole game, not just competitively.
but could you imagine like your livelihood as a pro player, and you're just waiting, like trying to decide, what am I going to do with my life? Should I go back to school? Should I go back, get a job? Like, what should I do? And then finally the Gears of War game's coming out. You're like, okay, I'm back. And then they're like, well, guess what? We're going to wait another year for esports, and it just puts these guys in a really tough position, man.
Well, I mean,
It's sad though. It's sad when people have to walk away from just something they've been doing their whole life,
right.
I guess that would be more so if they don't bring it back at all. And it's always
Yeah.
tough closing that chapter in your life, and when it's officially over and the dream is dead. It's one of those.
Right.
Hey, Zero, did you where you live, did you have Microsoft Store where you lived in your city?
What a Microsoft Store?
Yeah, did you have those?
Like a physical location?
Yeah.
No,
You
no.
don't remember those?
I do.
They used to have Gears of War tournaments at the Xbox stores.
Oh no,
You
I
didn't
really don't
have that?
Mm-mm.
Well, they closed all of the stores, and I would love to see them partner with businesses like what you got going on around the country, where they would bring in a sanctioned Microsoft Store sponsored, or Microsoft, not store, but Xbox, Microsoft sponsor independent game places like what you have going on, to bring in an official tournament there for the local people, instead of doing it at the Microsoft, like basically the Microsoft Store style tournaments, but use independent places like what you got going on, because they don't have an outlet anymore. They don't have a store.
Yeah,
to
I
do
would love.
these
I mean,
things.
I would love to do something like that, dude. Eventually,
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely some complexities I feel to stuff like that. But I would love. I'm talking right now to a number of people about doing a midnight launch here for E-Day. I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to do that, just because I may have my own plans for
Yeah.
like for the launch of E-Day. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, dude.
Do you got a restaurant in there too? Do you sell food, or is it just gaming?
Yeah, I've got well, I have like a vending machine. We have like a snack bar. It's not like a full service like restaurant though. No, I don't have that yet. I don't. It's like a 1,300 square foot area space. So it's not that large, but I wanted to prove the concept, and then we can kind of move to the next whatever the next step is, But we got to prove the
Do you
concept.
have can you set up outside as well? Can you expand like a tent outside or anything?
I mean,
Parking
yeah.
lot?
Yeah, I mean, I have a full-blown parking lot. Like I'm in
Yeah.
like a plaza, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of
Yeah,
like
okay.
like how you would pull up to like a GameStop in a plaza, or whatever. That's kind of.
What city are you in?
So I'm in Bluffton.
Bluffton, Ohio?
Oh no, South
Or is
Carolina.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't know why I kept thinking Ohio.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, I'm from Ohio originally, but
Okay, that's what it was.
I moved
Yeah.
down here 5 years ago. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of people in the chats, guys. Shadows is in here. What's up, Shadows? What's up, Toaster Taco? Dude, Tassier Lake, Ruined Eraser, bro. You guys are going crazy. Shadows, if you want to jump in, dude, jump on in. But
Hey, do you want to do some predictions?
I do. I do want to do some predictions, dude. Let's start with Xtra. Xtra, do you have a prediction for the? Well, you know what? Let's start before the showcase or before before. Do you guys have any predictions on if anything will get shown? Anything further will get shown before the showcase? That being like the Coalition podcast, a trailer, a snapshot, whatever. Do you guys think anything of that's coming? Xtra, I'll start with you.
I only think that the podcast is coming. I don't see any reason for necessarily Xbox to put out anything else. And if you guys aren't, if you guys weren't in the live stream last night, Matt Booty was just on a podcast and he was talking about, the Xbox and Forza, and then at the end of it, they brought up that the Coalition is going to come on the podcast, but they didn't tell us when. So we could be seeing that, and then, we probably won't see anything else. Maybe not even a screenshot or something like that. Like TC, if you're out there watching us, please do a screenshot. Or something at least.
Release the pod. I would love to see the podcast. Even though, bro, it wasn't really a podcast unless there's a more like
12 minutes.
If there's a longer version, and they just took a clip of it, because you know what they might have done, bro? That might have been a clip or 12 minutes of an hour-long podcast where the Coalition is on it. You know what I'm saying? They might have filmed it all in one day, but then they only released 12 minutes of it with Matt Booty and with, just a couple of Xbox community managers and stuff. So I don't know. There's a chance that the podcast could release before, but depending on what they talk about, it may release after the showcase or after the direct. What do you think, StarSpawn?
I didn't know about that podcast you're talking about, so that's interesting. Is there a date that's going to be released, or did they say?
No, we have no idea. We have no idea. It just released yesterday, and Matt Booty was talking about, and that's where I got a little bit excited. Maybe Gears of War E-Day is going to come to PlayStation, just because they asked him about if they were going to continue to release their, if they were going to show.
PlayStation logos
and stuff, and he kind of leaned into it, we're still gonna kind of business as usual. They got a lot of backlash for it, but I thought he was gonna say something like, guys, we're just really excited to show you our new, our exclusives that are coming out. He didn't do that. He didn't give me an indication that maybe E-Day is going to be an exclusive, maybe a timed exclusive. But the other thing was he mentioned that they have Halo Campaign Evolved coming, and then after Halo Campaign Evolved, Minecraft Dungeons 2, then Gears of War E-Day, then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. So it's almost like I think he was telling us chronologically as far as these games when they were going to be coming out. I think it's gonna, with Modern Warfare 4 getting announced for October, I think Gears of War E-Day is going to come out in September. Minecraft Dungeons 2 probably August, and then July will probably be Halo Campaign Evolved. That's at least what my prediction is. Yeah,
July for the Halo.
For Halo, I do think that's what's going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's what I think that's what's happening. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the chat thinks, but that's what I think he's alluding to. But yeah, do you think we're going to see anything before the showcase?
I would really doubt it, because they've been very close-lipped about it. They're keeping everything. There hasn't even been any leaks.
No.
Remember, the other games, there'd be leaks and stuff. They probably would do it themselves as part of marketing. I don't know, but right now, it's just nothing, man. Every person from the Coalition have kept everything quiet.
Dude, they have it locked up over there.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy. Do you like that it's so locked up?
I do, because I think it shows that they have so much passion that they'd rather keep that and not release it, and not try to get any clout or whatever people get from doing that kind of stuff. And if you remember, Coalition had some issues with leaks towards the end of the last regime. If you remember that the Shawnee situation. And, because of that, we now have JSON files out in the wild because of all that stuff. So Uh, I think that maybe the Microsoft came in and told everyone, read them the Riot Act, and said, "Listen, you do this again, like we have any of this issues, you're never going to work at Microsoft again," or something like that, and
Right.
put the fear of God into them, and they've kept their mouths shut about it.
Hmm.
I think that shows passion, it shows integrity, and it shows a confidence that they don't need to do these little, a leak, or whatever, like stealth marketing. They don't have to do that. If your game is good enough, then the game will speak for itself.
Yeah,
And
but bro, think about this. Extra and I were talking about this yesterday. Like, it's like a movie. If you don't release a lot of marketing material, like no one knows about it or they forget about it. So I mean, this isn't GTA here. This is Gears of War. So I mean, are you concerned about the lack of?
When I look at Gears, it's such a unique title or unique game that I don't think the normal rules apply. I think that there's going to be different parameters for Gears. And at this point, after 20 years, Microsoft being Microsoft, data-driven company, they by now have so much player data, so much opinion, so much of what is needed, what we want, as far as what we expect out of a Gears of War game. I think that they're I'd imagine they got to be data driven now, considering they went with, instead of saying like, "Hey, Rod Ferguson, what do people want?" and then him telling them, I think they actually did research this time and are trusting different voices as opposed to just one guy telling them what they want to hear. And that's going to be healthy for the game. And again, I go back to the Hive Busters DLC. That is something, obviously, they know what the formula is. They know how to make a game feel like a Gears of War game. And if we can just get the DLC spirit or however they cobbled that together through a whole game, then we'll be back.
Yeah.
That'll deliver what is the strength of Gears of War is the campaign.
It is, but after the campaign, like we've talked about that too. Like after the campaign, though, would you say the co-op's more important or the multiplayer?
Well, the most important is Horde mode. That it was over half of the total player base.
Yeah.
The smallest representation is the PvP, and it peaked the Gears 5 times. It was around 9% of the total player base was on PvP. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so
it was such a shame that they waited so long to do anything for Horde. I mean, I think that alone killed it, like, really bad.
I would love to see an expanded Horde. That'll be one of my predictions, actually. We'll see an expanded Horde that could possibly, instead of having like a dedicated beast mode, maybe they have a Horde mode that is split into different things to where maybe you could you could be the Locust as far as like the heavies, Brumach and maybe the I don't know how they're gonna do. I'm sure they'll bring back the Mulcher and the or what was it? The Mulcher guy. And the boomers will be back, like that. The heavies will be back, and I thought it'd be a great experience to be able to do a beast mode, but a PvP, to where both sides are actually fighting real people, and that would be good for streaming. It's a much less sweaty, more fun, and still competitive. I would like to see something like that, but I mean, my main prediction though is going to be we're just going to see a Horde mode and a PvP mode and then a campaign. I don't think we're going to see an escape or
You're talking at the showcase or at the direct.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into this. So I've stated that I believe that the first trailer that is shown at the showcase is Gears of War E-Day to hype up the direct. Okay. I believe they did this last year. Extra, didn't they do this last year with the Outer Worlds too?
Yep, they did.
Okay. So
I think they did it with Black Ops 6 as well.
I think they did. I can't remember that one. But yeah, the Black Ops 6 was the direct a couple of years ago. So you had the Outer Worlds 2, had the first trailer that was shown at the actual showcase was Outer Worlds 2, and they were like, stick around till the end. We're going to do a direct for the Outer Worlds 2. I believe they're going to do this with E-Day. They're going to show off, the first trailer will be the whatever we want to call it, trailer 2 for E-Day, and then at the end of the showcase will certainly be the direct. And maybe that, do you guys think that first trailer, if that's what the first trailer is at the showcase, do you think it's the full trailer, or do you think it's like 30 seconds or like a minute or something like that to kind of tease the direct? What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, StarSpawn.
I would think they'll probably have some kind of banger song. They'll have some song, and then they'll do a Gears 4 style. Do you remember the first trailer from Gears 4?
Sure do.
With Run to Jewels, and where they showed the drop shot, and then they showed the buzzkill and all that stuff. And man, we were so hyped. I was like, oh my God, what is this? He's bouncing saws off the wall. What's going on? And the music was just hitting, and the vibes were there. I think it'll be something like that. With a new song, it'll be maybe a known person, maybe an unknown, and it'll just hit super hard. But it'll be gameplay though. It's not going to be a trailer like the last one, which was made in not in the game. I think the new trailer will be 100% in-game assets to show off the gameplay, instead of a made trailer, that's not in-game assets. I think it'll even say it. This is all in-game assets, just to show how good it's going to be. The visual parts of it. We need to see just simple things like the facial animations, and hear the voice lines, and just get a vibe for what the story's going to be. And I'm sure all of that's going to be perfect. I've never seen a Gears of War facial animation that wasn't absolutely spot on, or I'll put it like this, something that took me out of the immersion,
Right.
like Gears of War keeps me in, and there isn't anything off about it. So we'll see a perfect trailer, I'm sure. I personally think the game has been ready. I think the game has been finished for a while, and they've just been sitting on it for a timing issue. I think they probably could have came out with it last year, personally. So I think it's sitting on a shelf and ready to go, and they'll be able to crank out full spectrum content for whatever, trailer, show all the Horde stuff, show the maps, multiplayer modes. As far as multiplayer modes go, I would love to see something new. I'm kind of limited on my ideas on this, just because, at the end of the day, I'm just a guy that plays Gears and streams. I'm not I'm not in the working at Microsoft getting paid to come up with ideas, but I wouldn't mind escort a light mass missile, and you got to get it from one end of the map to the other. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know. Maybe it'd be good, maybe not. And then something that Shadows has talked about a lot is a large 10v10 base style, where you're in a base, and then you got another group assaulting the base, and then you try to take the base over, and then maybe you move on to it. Like let's say there's like 3 bases, and you got to take all 3 of them in a 10v10, big battle mode kind of a thing. Something that's more, it's still PvP. It's still, you got to win or lose, but it's definitely way more casual than a standard, like, let's just say TDM, grabbing angles, lancering people out, playing, like normal, what we would consider normal competitive Gears of War, because that's what's so hard to do on the game. If you are playing at that level, then you've spent hours and hours and hours playing and watching other people play and learning how to play. Whereas a big battle mode, you're just like, okay, just get in there and take the base, just you go forward and try to kill people, or
have fun.
That sounded, yeah, to have fun. So I would like to see that.
Well,
I don't know, like, what do you think, Xtra Father, as far as game modes go? Because I kind of come up with just copying other games at that point. I'm not, it's hard to come up with something new I think in general. But
I'm
you got
happy you brought
anything?
that up because I've said on this podcast before, I really don't want Gears of War EA to follow any trends. I want them to set trends for other games. I'm sick of Gears being that, oh, well, they're trying this. Oh, they're trying that. Oh, they're trying a semi-open world. Oh, wow, they're really trying to fuck up the Lancer now. Oh, wow, the Nasher has 6 shots in it now. Why? Like, do you guys remember that? 6
Yep.
shots in the fucking Nasher?
Oh man.
Yep.
It was bad.
Yep.
But I, I I really think EA needs to set trends for other games. I'm really tired of Gears being the trend follower instead of the trend setter.
I just think, bro, like you just take the modes that we have and innovate them. Like, sure, we gotta innovate. Like, so you know, we talk about the slide mechanic and stuff, but you brought up StarSpawn a little bit ago. One of the things that we've talked about on the show quite a bit is you have Horde mode. Why can't the emergence holes bring down buildings? Why can't it start affecting the environment? Like, that's the kind of thing where even in like multiplayer, imagine emergence holes kind of show up on like certain maps and your cover's gone. What do you do in those situations? Like, having like very interactive like, I just think there's a lot of ways that they could go about it. There was
Well, they have a history of that too. There's a history of environmental things.
correct, exactly.
And
So I don't think that we have to like reinvent the wheel. We need to take some of the stuff that's worked and kind of innovate with it a little bit. Like, I think, you know, I had some people mention it'd be really cool if like they had a mode kind of like Battle Royale where the krill is the storm and then in the middle you have like an emergence hole and everybody's fighting around and like you're like the storm, which is the krill's getting closer. And like, I've heard so many interesting ideas, but I think if you just like took like, okay, this is Horde mode. Here's some stuff. Okay, we got a slide mechanic now that we're adding into this. We've got like destructive environments. You can just like destructible cover, destructible like the emergence holes. That could be something that could fundamentally change like create very interesting and unpredictable circumstances live in matches, which could just keep things really fresh. I don't know. Those are, I don't, like I said, I don't think that we have to necessarily reinvent everything because I think the core of what Gears of War is really special and it is niche. But I just think that we need to take some of those things and maybe try to start innovating in new ways and not so much like innovating like, oh, the wall bounce, like let's make it faster, you know, or like, you know, like things like that.
well, what do you think about a wall cancel? How do you feel about like if they were to go back to the Gears of War, you know, reloaded style movement?
I'd have to feel it first.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that you can, yeah, we gotta.
It can't be as fast as Gears 5. It just can't. It can't.
Well,
Like,
if you have to hit the wall, it negates a lot of that.
right.
Here's my question. What load are we talking a Gears of War 3 type of loadout, or are we talking more of the newer Gears of War loadouts? You know what I'm saying? Because like Xtra Father.
Wait, oh, you're talking about like for the weapon loadouts?
Correct.
I think I heard you guys talking about this before, and while it is, you know, it is fun to grab, you know, to spawn in with hammer burst and retros and stuff. You remember like a 5-man hammer burst squad is pretty tough to play against.
Yeah.
You know, especially you get these guys that will have, you know, maybe a little auto fire, a little macro, whatnot, and they all have hammer bursts. It's like you're cooked. There's no way to get out of that. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'd be more comfortable for pickups. I'm more comfortable where everyone starts the same. Everybody's on the same level.
Yeah, StarSpawn. Let me ask you this: what was your favorite Gears of War title?
For campaign or for multiplayer?
For everything.
For campaign, I enjoyed 2 the most. But I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like for multiplayer, I like Gears of War 5 because it's the easiest one. Like I'm literally the best at Gears of War 5 out of all the other games because it's easy. I can do all of the mechanics on Gears 5 and it's optimized for back A's, up A's, reaction shots, and the gun works good enough, you know, as far as the shotgun goes. I have a little bit of issues here and there, but all the other Gears games are harder. They're laggier. The movement's too fast. On like Gears 3 is super fast. But I will say, I was playing the Delta Gears of War 3 build on PC, and man, I had a lot of fun on that. And if it was more populated, I would have played it more.
I'd
But
still
you
be
know,
playing it.
it's there's so few people playing it that it's tough. It's every game's really, you're playing against like the best players in the world basically on PC.
Yeah.
You know, they're like keyboard and mouse best players in the world already, and now they're on keyboard and mouse on a PC at 300 frame. Like you know, they're just cooking mans on there. But I loved it. I played OSOC. They put OSOC up as a special event, and I played it for 7 hours, and I like messed my hand up from playing it too much. I wasn't used to playing Gears like that anymore. So that was great. I had a lot of fun, but there's mechanics missing from Gears 3 that, not really missing, but the back A on Gears 3 is not the same. It just doesn't have the same timing. It doesn't have the swing to it that like Gears 5 has, where you can come in,
Well, I don't want to see that come back.
do a back A, and then
Yeah, I don't want to see a wrap shot or a Kermit shot. Like that shit just doesn't.
How do you
need to
get
be
rid
in
of
Gears
it though?
anymore.
That stuff is a
Limitations.
consequence of the camera moving independently of the character.
Well, there's a reason why you can't do that kind of thing in Gears 3. It's because it's limited, and the reason why it's limited is because the best players would have absolutely abused it, like they do in Gears 5. Like when you're coming up, like you have to have momentum when you're coming into a cover in order to do a back shot, to do a back A. So like there's limitations for that, because if you grasp onto that like Gears 5 is, like Gears 5 is like basically unlimited. You can do whatever you want in Gears 5.
But
And the best players,
how do you fight then? Like, let's say you're in cover, right? And they got right hand advantage on you. If you don't have that standstill back A, they can just hard aim you around the corner, and you can't really fight your way out of that.
that's why they had stopping power.
Well, yeah, I don't think Gears 5. I think the claw has stopping power. I don't think any of the starting weapons have it anymore.
Mm-mm. But that's what I'm
But
saying. Like Gears 5 is so offensive that there's no point in being defensive in Gears 5. There's literally no point. If, like on stream, I did this the other day. I was like, okay, I've lost 5 free-for-alls in a fucking row because I've been defensive. Next 2 games, I'm going to just run at people. And you know what happened? I won both of those fucking games. Both of them. So it's like Gears 5 is so offensively driven, and I don't want to see that anymore. Like, I don't want to see what we had in Gears 3 with the stopping power. The stopping power was really kind of fucking broken, if I'm being completely honest. So they kind of tuned it down in Gears 4 to an extent, and then they kind of just took it away in Gears 5.
Well,
So
what do you think about the actives being taken away? You good with that?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that is
because, like, in Gears of War 3, if, like, say you're a beginner in Gears 3 and you're going up against a veteran, like, there's so many different things that a pro player could do to you as a beginner player. Like, you don't know what a active reload is. You don't know what a up A is. You don't know how to take cover in the right, like, circumstances. Like, it just needs to... The actives just need to make sense. Like, I don't want to be able to reload my weapon whenever I want. I don't want that anymore. Because
so you like the old style of, like, you remember you spawn in on Gears 3 and then you're just like shooting on your way to where you're going.
Yeah.
And then you just wait till you get there, then hopefully hit an active and then get into the fight, you know. But
I'd much rather have that than no active.
You're sacrificing
it doesn't make
shots,
any sense to even active reload.
I'm not, you know, I kind of agree with you, because if you sacrifice the shots, then you're sacrificing to get the active. Whereas when 100%. They change it to where anytime you can get an active, it's kind of, it's a balance too, because when you pick up a power weapon, that first shot is never going to be active.
Right.
So there is that. I don't know how you balance that.
I just think that the way I look at it is, I think that Gears of War 3 was the perfect Gears of War for any type of real Gears of War player. Like beginners, experts, you could kind of go in. Yeah, it wasn't like, certainly they had, I just look at it as a whole and I say, okay, from Horde mode, campaign, multiplayer, like all three of these things made this package that I think was the greatest Gears of War ever made. Now, Gears of War 2 was great. It was definitely my second favorite Gears of War ever, but I just thought that Gears of War 3, there was something really special about it. Now, when we bring it to the modern times and we say, okay, Gears of War 3 having the different loadouts, we were talking about this yesterday on Open Mic, StarSpawn. We were talking about like maybe having the different loadouts in certain modes and having the like where everything is like everybody's got the same stuff in other modes. For example, competitive modes, everybody's got the same shit. Right? Like everybody's got the, you have your Nasher, you have, if we're talking, if the Retro Lancer's the meta now, you have that, and then you've got like your smoke or your flash, and then a snub pistol or whatever pistol. Like, and then you have your power-up weapons on the map. So certain modes have certain styles so that you have, it kind of gives you like, I'm not saying that you have too many modes because then you start splitting up the community, especially if PlayStation isn't coming along for the ride. We don't want to like really be splitting up the community in a multitude of different playlists. But I'm saying that I want the casuals, especially if it's coming to PlayStation, the newbies who are coming in, I want them to have an opportunity where they feel like there is a path to getting better. And I think part of that is the campaign. You learn the mechanics through the campaign. Then you have the Horde mode. You can learn a lot of that stuff going through the trenches of like the waves upon waves of enemies with your friends. And then the multiplayer, there's a few options there as well. Whether you want to go, okay, this is the gauntlet. I want to get better at this game. Like I want to go up against the best people on the planet. I'm going into ranked, or I'm going into these competitive modes where you got to have the same weapons, same loadout. Whereas if I go into some of these other casual modes, because I'm thinking about it like, how do we bring in these new people and how do we make it where they don't have a Gears of War Reloaded experience, right? Because Gears of War Reloaded, let's be real, like new players coming in from PlayStation, I mean, do you think they had a really good time? Because
no.
Right.
No.
Right. I mean,
and it wasn't just because of the way it played. It just looked old. Like everything about it. It just, I wanted to like it so bad, but every time I play it, some other weird shit goes on. Like,
I know.
Like there's people teleporting, or like my shot doesn't count. I'm like shooting, and then like I'll shoot in the air next to someone and they blow up. It's so weird, man.
No.
And I get this weird like ghosting effect to where when my
on
character
PC.
I when I go back and forth, it's on Xbox. On my Xbox, it's just this.
No way.
And it like you can see trails of when I move, like you can see the trail of the gun, just like
really?
It's very off-putting. It's noticeable. And I don't know, man. I couldn't stick with it. I did a couple months of it, and then I
didn't even get to level 100.
I did. I'm on my second re-up. I didn't do another one, but I can't play it anymore. Sometimes people like Ruined Eraser wants to play it. Shadow still plays it every day. He likes it still.
I don't even like touching it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I was gonna say
UE. I liked UE because it was like, it was a remake at the time, so like it was brand new. It was something to play, but now like playing UE 10 years later, like come on.
Yeah, and then Gears 1 20 years later, really. But I was gonna say the one thing that Shadow said about the ranked, and I kind of agree with him on this. He was suggesting a ranked playlist that you could only either start solo or maybe like 2 people, and not have ranked for whole stacks anymore. Like if you do ranked, let's say it's just solo, just to make it easier, you go into a ranked solo mode where they actually put you in with people that are your level, but all like solo players, not a stack. And then you as a solo player have to hope that they match you up with people good enough. where
Mhm.
it's more competitive, it's more fair that way. And then any like modes where you have a whole stack would automatically be more of a casual, no matchmaking, no ranking system, just a whoever's on, it just matches you up with whoever is the best connection, basically, or something like that. And I think that would, I mean, I don't
That'd
know.
be
I
good.
don't know what the idea is. I don't know what's best, but I do know making solo players play against stacks all the time is not fun.
That shit sucks.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
it ruins
sucks.
the game. It really ruins it. And then the other thing you were saying, bringing up the difficulties of the game, I always go back to Fortnite because I think Fortnite is really hard to learn. If you come in as a new player and you've never played Fortnite and you're especially, I'm talking about the build modes now,
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
learning how to do
Yeah.
90s, learning how to edit windows, shoot through there, re-edit the wall back, doing the different Fortnite mechanics, and yet the game is huge still, and people take time to learn how to play it. Gears of War is hard. I don't know if it's as I don't think it would be as hard as learning how to do builds in Fortnite. I mean,
No, I
it's
don't
it's
think so.
hard though. It is hard, but I don't think that using, how the coalition and has basically geared the game to be easier, more friendly for new
Yep.
players. And then you got a game like Fortnite whose answer to that was just to do no build. But that didn't come till years afterwards. It was
Yeah.
it was very popular leading up to that.
Right.
Um I think if the game is good and people want to play the game, even if it's difficult, they'll still play it.
The game has to be fun.
Yes,
Above everything else, it has to be fun.
Yeah.
because Fortnite was fun back then. Even building like one by one boxes back in the day. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And I don't know if it's the aesthetic of it, the bright colors. No, I don't know. I'm not saying Gears should do any of that because we already went down that road.
Right.
The more
Yeah.
color.
Let's not
I'm
do
not
that
saying it
again.
should be flat like Reloaded is really flat, black and gray.
Mhm.
It definitely needs to have colors in it and a representation of a modern aesthetic, or not aesthetic. It's still the Gears aesthetic, but presented in a technologically modern way, meaning
Right.
the clarity of it, the graphics. Not changing the aesthetics of the game. That's all set in stone. But it has to look like a modern game because people are expecting certain things. Like the expectations of modern gaming have risen to a level that Reloaded did not reach, in my opinion.
Correct.
Mhm.
And it needs to come out. And when these PlayStation people get a hold of it and see it, it has to make them want to play the game.
Right.
I don't think that Reloaded achieved that. I was hoping it would. I was really hoping for an influx of a bunch of PlayStation people. But what I saw, I don't know, maybe you guys had a different experience, but what I saw was the majority of people were saying that they had an Xbox 360, they had
Yep.
moved on from it, and then they got PlayStation, and now it's years later. They're kind of reliving their youth. They got Reloaded to remind them of the Xbox days. It
Yep.
wasn't like, hey, I'm a new guy. I've never seen Gears before. I love this game. Here like I'm into it now because of Reloaded. I didn't really see that. I just saw a lot of nostalgia,
Right.
which was disappointing to me. Is that what you guys saw too?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%,
Yeah.
dude. Well, you know what I want to do, guys? Before we wrap this whole thing up, I want to do a bold prediction for the showcase. Let's just do a bold prediction. I'll start. Obviously, even though it's not confirmed that it's going to come to PlayStation, I would love to see it come to PlayStation. I'm not going to make that my bold prediction. My bold prediction has been something I've been saying for a while. I believe that what would be really cool is at the end of the direct, they say, hey guys, we got one last thing that we want to announce. We're going to announce the Gears of War E-Day beta, and it's live right now. Mic drop moment. And then on top of that, we didn't forget about you, PlayStation. The beta is available for you right now as well. It's over, bro. The entire community goes absolutely haywire. We're so back. Everybody's playing the game immediately. That would be, because you have the masses at this point watching this thing. So if you wanted a massive mic drop moment, I think it would be the beta announced at the showcase, released at the show, right after the showcase or the direct is done. that to me, I don't think there's anything. I mean, there's probably certainly other things that could be really big, but I think that would be a massive moment. Extra, what would be a bold prediction for you about the showcase or the direct?
Are we talking just about just about the direct or the whole showcase?
The direct. You have a bold prediction for the showcase. You can mention that too.
Well, first off, the showcase, I predict we will see Halo 7 get announced. I predict that for the showcase.
Halo 7.
As far as the direct goes, that would be sick. Like that would be probably the best showcase even before the direct even fucking happens. So, for the direct though, I predict. Oh, damn. Now I gotta think because that's exactly what I was gonna say, Zero.
You would like the beta. I mean, I think we would all love the beta right away because it's been so long since we've seen anything.
Fuck, I don't really have another strong prediction.
Do you have a prediction, StarSpawn?
Well, I like that, and when I found out that the event is on a Sunday. Do you know this?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
You knew that? I thought that blew my mind. I thought we were talking Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. So because it's on a Sunday, right? If they did drop a beta right away, it would be that Monday, maybe for the week, that Monday too. So you're talking about a surprise at the, in the week. So you're not going to get a huge slam as if it was like this weekend. Let's say they do it on a Friday and then you got Saturday, Sunday for the beta, because there's going to be so many people jumping on it that it may, kind of test the stress of it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe,
Point.
Sunday night, they're like, okay, Monday morning, you're going to have the beta starts and it's going to be such a surprise. Huh? It is? No, it isn't. It is right now. Okay. So yeah, kind of, are you sure? Okay. So I would say that I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I got a thing. I got to go on my roof.
Yeah, no.
my gutters are clogged. Yeah, my gutters clogged. I got to climb up I got to get up a ladder in a second.
Good. Yeah. No, you're good,
Yeah,
bro. We're wrapping it up.
Okay,
dude.
but I'm gonna agree with you on the PlayStation thing. My bold prediction will be esports announcement, including LAN events.
Okay.
Mexico City possibly as the first event, and it may be tied into the wrestling thing that's going on because it's a Mexican wrestling thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it
For
is.
yeah.
It's in Mexico City too, or I mean, one of the nights it's in Mexico City. Yeah.
So I could see a event in Mexico City because that's like the Super Bowl for Gears of War events.
Yeah,
That's
that
one
would
I
be
want to go to.
huge. Yeah.
If there is another one, I will be there. That's what I've been waiting for. So I'm going to go with an esports announcement that will be not as big as the Gears of War 5 as far as worldwide goes, but I believe it'll be like a North American, possibly centered esports. Smaller than before, but still big enough that it's going to make a big difference.
I got a prediction.
Hold on. Oh yeah, go ahead, Extra.
I predict Gears of War E-Day is going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Oh no,
dude! What the fuck, dude? You just killed the vibe.
I know,
bro.
he just did. What a party pooper!
Why did he do that to us, StarSpawn? This
I gotta
guy,
do it.
bro.
I gotta do it.
Well, you know what? Okay, well, one other thing I want to say really quick is I would like to make a bold prediction that I think you were talking, StarSpawn, about like community-driven events and stuff. I would love it if they, reached out to creators, streamers, and had an event where creators and stuff are able to play the game like live or whatever, kind of like what they did with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 just recently. They flew out a bunch of creators, streamers, pro players, then played the game early and got a lot of hype going that way. Do you think something like that might happen here with E-Day?
I hope so. I went and got a
That would be
passport
awesome.
after I saw everyone else flew out to Canada last time. So I was thinking maybe I can get on that train. So I went and got a passport just in case. So I don't know. I'm not seeing the same signs, again,
Right.
there's no Dana there yet. And, and as much as I would love to do that, I mean, hopefully they will. Hopefully they just hit us with everything on the 7th and they give us our esports. Here's your new content guy. we're going to put together what was it called, the coalition partners.
Yep.
Coalition
Put
Army.
that back together, put all that back together, and then say, here's just where you register to get into the program. Give us all of that, and then end with the beta. I mean, could you imagine? We would be so
awesome.
back.
We would be
so
fucking
back,
dude. I mean, we are back,
Jeez.
but like somehow we're back, and the game isn't. We have only seen an announcement trailer. Like,
It's so
crazy.
hard too, because it's been all these years, and
I know.
it's finally it's here, and it's hard to believe that it's here still until I see it. It's one of
Bro,
those.
people be telling me in my comments, just be patient. I'm like, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Dude, we've been patient. Well, with that, guys, let's do our final thoughts. All right, guys.
Okay.
I'll start. Ladies and gentlemen, we are eight. We're in the single digits. 8 days away from the Gears of War E-Day Direct specifically, but the showcase. Guys, we're almost there. And as a community, we've been going through these trenches together, and we're going to go into the Direct as a community. And this is a time when, obviously the anticipation, the hype is at an all-time high, but right now is the time to keep the conversation going, to support your favorite creators, your favorite streamers. By the way, guys, go check out StarSpawn. Go check out Xtra Father. You guys, their stuff will be linked in the descriptions down below, but you guys got to go check these guys out. I'm going to plug them now. Help StarSpawn get to 10,000 followers on Twitch. We're going to help Xtra Father get to 10,000. I need to get to 10,000 before Xtra Father. But nonetheless, guys, I mean, like, look, I love these guys. I love this community. I love doing this thing because I love all of you. And we are almost at what we would call day one or day zero. This shit hasn't even started yet, guys. And we as a community are going to go into this abyss, this kind of void where we don't know what's on the other side, but we're going to go through it together. And let's fucking blow this shit up, dude. One step at a time, brick by brick. Let's fucking go. StarSpawn, I want to say thank you so much, dude, for coming on to the show, man.
Yeah,
what do
of
you have?
course.
What is something that you've got before we wrap this shit up, dude? One last thing to tell the community as we are now 8 days away from the Direct.
Well, we've been in a lifeboat for a long time. We've been in a lifeboat just floating around with no land, no water, no food, just surviving in a boat. And finally, we
Let's
can
fucking go, dude. This fucking Lee's in here.
We can see land ahead, boys. We got land
almost there.
coming up ahead. We are saved finally.
Yeah,
now, what we
where
get
am
on
I
that island, I don't know. Hopefully, there's a lot of stuff there for us.
Yeah.
But we're here finally, and I'm gonna be streaming Gears every day. Shadows is gonna be streaming it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Xtra Father, Zero, you guys are
where
gonna
my
be
camera,
doing it,
man?
streaming daily, making content daily. And that's what we got to do. We just got to hope for the best.
And you know,
And I think it's finally here, boys.
I get a lot of comments, bro, from people that are like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
why is the
dude,
camera not working?
yo, dude, like I am starting to create content because of like you guys and what you guys are doing or helping like getting me to like want to start creating content. Like anybody out there who's thinking about creating content or starting something, bro, it's fucking this is the
start.
time. Fucking start, dude.
Yeah,
right
now's
now.
the time.
Now
This
is
is
the
it.
time, dude, because dude, I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of people there's going to be an opportunity, I think, with E-Day that we haven't seen in a while within the Gears of War ecosystem. Xtra Father, what do you got to say, bro, to the Gears of War community, dude? We are 8 fucking days away from day 1, day 0, whatever you want to call it. What do you got, bro?
Boys, Emergence Day is almost upon us. It's so close. It's within the grasp of our hands. We're gonna be pulling a fucking Infinity Gauntlet right now with this game. So it's almost here, guys. We just got a little bit more time. I know it's been, dude, it's been a long time, but the long time is almost over.
It is. It's almost there, guys. And look, I know Lee. Dude, I'm not sure what's going
He's having
on.
problems.
He's
I'm trying to
having.
get my camera working, man. It's not going on.
Yo, Lee. Before we get out of here, bro, you are here in spirit, bro. Like we know you're there. Dude. We know you're there, homie. Yo, Lee, what do you got to say to the Gears community, bro? We are fucking 8 days away, dude. What do you got?
Come on, man. I'm ready. I'm ready, bro. I'm so ready, innit? It's fun. We've been waiting 7 years. 7 years.
I know, dude.
Everybody plus 7.
I know.
You, me, and everybody in the chat plus 7.
I know.
I'm ready, man.
I know.
It's time, yeah.
It's time, dude.
It is
We're
time.
almost there. We're almost there, dude. I mean, it's you've been crushing it, dude, with the streams and everything else, man. There's so much. There's a lot happening. There's a lot of excitement, guys. There's going to be. Everybody that you guys are seeing on the screen right now, guys, are going to be creating a lot of content. We're locking in, dude, and there's going to be a lot of content coming. I mean, Shadows is probably going to have 6 videos a day, so get the fuck ready, dude. Like, this guy's going to be uploading a shitload of videos.
You know it.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited about it, man. But, hey, guys, I really appreciate all of you guys.
I think they ended.
All their links are going to be down in the description down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining us for this episode of the Gears Cast. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure that you guys leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Stay positive. Just keep grinding. And as always, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace out, boys.
Have a good one.
See ya, guys.